It's a little bit more ethereal. And sometimes you'll kind of lose the rhythm in it. So it's really geared towards ultimately that you stop listening to it. Really, it's like you maybe start listening to it, but the end point is not it. Because actually, really when we talk about meditation, when you really like drop in, you go to a place where sound doesn't exist. So really the music is actually limiting. So it's like, why? So why do we do all this music? Do it? Well, it helps get you there. You can think of a music is like the, a rocket ship. It needs that first like propulsion to get you there. But once that, it's like the rocket drops and it can still go off. Think of the music that way. It's not the end of it, but it helps get you there. And if you listen closely, there's a 5-element teaching in all of them. Okay, like in this one, I'm getting into, craftsmanship here, but the left hand was all the I Ching. Bong, gong, ging, gong, 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 gong. That's all. I'm just starting with the water element in the I Ching. And I'm just going around the cycle. And that's where those rhythms are. So it's not something you hear consciously, but it's a teaching. And it's in there. And so it's like the water flows down. The wood music goes up. Fire does this and goes up. Earth is the sweetest. It's always the prettiest of all of them. You make earth sweet and you make earth pretty. And then you do, metal is like splitting and falling. And water is flowing like this. So it's like it's all in there. So there's all the teachings that in there. Because, hey, we can break down pop music. There's only 5 things in pop music. You've heard me say this before, right? I want you, I need you, I miss you, let's party, and social commentary. All your pop music is those 5. And then you can element them, right? I want you would be earth, sweet. I need you would be what element?
Fire.
No, not quite fire. Need.
Metal.
No, need. Like, think envy.
Metal.
Who said wood? There you go, wood. Yeah, green, like envy. Like need, it's kind of psycho. I need you. I want you is more like sweet. Okay, I want you, I need you. Miss you, what would that be? Miss. It's even the healing sound. Miss. Yeah, metal. Is I miss you. Let's party is what? Yeah. Social commentary would be what? Water. Yeah, like a reflection. It'll be social commentary. So you can now, sometimes it's the songs are like I need you and let's party. So you can have like multiple elements in these songs. But it's there, and if you look at the chart, it goes around. It's like you have one and you get sick of it. It goes around like the cycle of not creation, destruction, like songs that are popular. You'll start like in the 5 element, you'll start with I need you, and then it goes to I want you, then it goes to I need you, then I miss you, then let's party. Then after so much party, I'm sick of that. Let's go to social commentary. Then after social commentary, I'm getting sick of that. I want you again, So it's just like, it just cycles. It just does that right through the chart if you look at pop music. But you can break down everything into 5. You just break it all down into 5. Like even the boy bands, right? How many are people in a boy band? And you can even element them. I did that with one of my kids a few years ago. It's like, okay, who are these clowns? What? Let me see. Okay, there's going to be one like rebel guy who's kind of a tough guy. There's the sweet guy. There's the caring guy. There's the, you can element if you like actually stopped and thought it through, you can element them. And you have the five elements. So it's like you see it in everything. You can see it in colors if you look at fashion. Like the colors in the element, you start here and you get sick of it, so it goes here, then you get sick of that and it goes here. It just starts going up. It just goes around. Usually those cycles go more in the regulating cycles, not this way, not the growth cycle. Because it's like you have something, then you get sick of it. I don't study the fashion, so I couldn't tell you what colors are in, what colors are not. But I could figure it out if you tell me where we're at. You just look at the chart, and so could you. You just figure out what's coming. And then also colors based on seasons. So it's like it's there, it's everywhere. Which is, that's in the 5. And we have, right, how we get to the 5. I'll do more of this over the Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. But, 6 energies hit the ground, and then 5 reflect back up. And that's why time numerics is in a 6. 60 seconds, 12 months, 24 hours, all that. So it's in the 6. But like when we talk about form, we're better off doing it 5 and 10 in decimal. So you have 5 elements, and you have yin yang for 5 elements. So it's all the same. So even in music, it's all relative. So it's like if you're in music, if you're in the key of C, you do C would be earth, and D would be metal, and E would be wood, and A would be water, and G would be fire. But then you can shift them and do any starting point. Because if I wrote in one key, I'd go crazy. So I have to write in different keys for each album just to keep it interesting for me. Who here does music? Who here plays an instrument? Good. Yeah. So you get it. Yeah, so it's all there, but the 5 elements is just pentatonic. So just, it's using the five notes. There's so many different ways of doing it. But even if you look at that, right, you have 5 notes, you have the pentatonic, and then the other scale is the 8 notes. That numbers sound familiar. You have the I Ching. And then if you do chromatic, it's 12 notes. You have the 12 meridians. So it's all there. It's the same. So it's like you learn one system, and you start seeing it everywhere. And then you can predict events. You can see things before they happen based on the elements. And everyone thinks you're psychic or you're wise. And they can think that. That's okay. But you just know, hey, I got the chart. That's it. I know how to read this chart, and I can see things, and I can see the future. So of all the charts, right, because, we have Wuji, we have Yin Yang, we have 3 treasures, we have 5 elements, we have 6 energies, we have 7 chakras, we have 8 trigrams, we have 8 vessels, we have 12 meridians, and of all those, the one you'll come back to the most is the 5 elements. You'll keep coming back to that. Now, the other one is a close second maybe is understanding Yin Yang. We talk about and understanding like just how you have polarity and how like one thing feeds another. Like the Democrats can't exist without the Republicans. They can't exist. They think they hate each other, but they're actually best friends because they make each other. In a comic book, the hero is only as great as the villain. You have to have an interesting villain. What do we call a comic book hero with no villain? A weirdo in tights. Right? They're actually creepy. But then you have the villain, and all of a sudden, then you have the interesting villain. The villains usually have the better costumes. You ever notice that? My son first pointed that out to me. He's like, it's way cooler to dress like a villain. Okay. Yes?
I've been contemplating this. It's all allowing, but yet we're supposed to have an intention and live into the intention, but we're supposed to allow.
Yeah.
They seem to be 2 different messages.
Yeah, they do. That right? Doesn't it seem? It's like, okay, let's get really focused and let's have a goal. Have a goal of become a master. See, when I look at you in the room, I see a room full of masters. I really do. I see everyone as a master here. And so you see you as a master too. Sometimes it's hard to see, but get over it. Like look in the mirror and call yourself a master. It might be weird the first time you do it, like, it's like you might not even be able to. Okay, but start doing it. You're promoted. I go like this. You're all promoted. So you and start thinking that way, and then if you start thinking and considering yourself a master, you'll start behaving like it. And then you even say, okay, what if I was a master, what would I do in this situation? Well, let's see. Well, the first thing I'd do is I'd take a deep breath, I'd chill out, I'd think it through, and I'd think through my options, and then I'd look at it from a long-term viewpoint, not just this moment, and I'd see and I'd look and see what's best for everybody. I'd meditate, and I'd ask my subconscious mind, okay, what's the best thing to do in this? And I'd do, okay, right? You could if you really thought something through, what would a master do? You'd come up with that. So do that. And then after a while, you do that enough and enough and enough, what do you become? Yeah, you can't even help it. You won't even notice when it happens. Because it'll like become a part of you. And then it's a funny thing. It's like when it really becomes a part of you, a lot of times you can't tell. You can't tell. There was I don't remember. Amy, you would know the name of the movie. But it's the antagonist it was a comedy movie. And he kept doing mean things to people. And he kept doing it. And finally he says, he's like, was that a dick move? I can't tell anymore. And so, kind of profound, like you can't even tell. It's like, wow, you get this point, you don't even know. Okay, a little comedy there. But it's what happens is like it actually becomes you. And even the movements become you. And it's just what you do. The meditation becomes you. And then what happens is you're always meditating on some level. Because it's like you're able to drop in. And that's powerful point. There's a saying, some of you have heard this before. Buddha sees everyone as Buddha, dog sees everyone as dog. Right? So from Buddha viewpoint not necessarily sees in time. Buddha sees beyond time. So from Buddha viewpoint, you're a Buddha. Buddha sees a tree. Buddha sees that camera is a Buddha. Everything's a Buddha because within time everything becomes a Buddha. Maybe not in this lifetime, maybe not as that camera, but at some point that camera goes away and it goes and absorbs and it goes back into the earth, and at some point everything gets enlightened. Maybe like many lifetimes from now. But from Buddha viewpoint, everyone's a Buddha. From dog viewpoint, everyone's a dog. Who's had a dog try to hump their leg? Yeah. Yeah. So it's like a dog thinks everyone is like a child sees everyone as a child. You know, it's like a child runs around the room. From child viewpoint, child's the only one in the room. Like they can only see from that viewpoint. Some adults are like that. They can only see from their viewpoint. Can't see from any other viewpoint. Right? Everyone gets old, but not everyone grows up. So that's from Buddha, Buddha viewpoint and dog viewpoint. Okay? Okay, let's do another meditation.